Okay. Greetings, YouTube. Prison Affairs, chapter 26. We're on chapter 26 in Prison Affairs, and it's called Letting Go and Letting God. And it begins December 7th, 2004. I thought not talking for a while would have an effect on Darnell, but he had not tried to reach me in 3 days. I was hurt, but I knew it was his loss. And I was still smiling because nothing can take away my Jesus joy. I called his dad 3 days straight to see if he had heard from him. I called his mom as well. Both were not in. I even called the last 10 numbers in his phone trying to find him. I was really concerned when his cousin called me looking for him. December 10th, 2004. That Friday, Darnell came to my job to bring me a DVD he had borrowed from Carlin. I gave him a nice, tight hug. I was happy to see him and asked why he had not called. He said he was not around the phone. In this day and age, please. I asked about the friend he was staying with and how they were getting along. I was surprised the friend of his cousin would allow him to stay with him, being they had just met. I gave him the cell phone back because I wanted him to be able to call his family and me and come home. He was surprised that I had not erased the phone numbers. We talked about the little money he was making doing day work, and he mentioned wanting to get a haircut with the little he had. He called his auntie, and she talked to him about going to church. After he hung up the phone, I told Darnell if he was not planning to be around and chose to spend all of his time at his friend's house chilling, then he should not take the phone. Darnell looked away from me and said, "I can't sit here in this church and lie no longer. The guy house I've been chilling at is a girl. I didn't want to hurt you, but I have to be honest. I could have sat here and tried to play you, but I'm not doing that. I respect you, and you done too much for me." Done too much for him was an understatement. I treated Darnell like a king. His wish was basically my command, and this is the thanks I get. Tears started rolling down my face. I could have held them back, but I wanted him to know how much he was hurting me. Why make this easy for him, you know? I asked if he was sleeping with her, and he said yes. I asked if he knew her before he met me, and he told me he met her at the Workforce Commission. He was supposed to be trying to get a job. When he said Workforce Commission, I knew that was weeks ago. I asked how long this had been going on, and he said 2 weeks. Immediately, I thought about the last time we were together, which was little over a week. Damn. I wanted to curse him for sleeping with this woman he just met. On top of that, he admitted he did not use a condom, thereby jeopardizing both our lives. Baby, why would you have sex with me and another person? I don't know. Do you still love me? I like you a whole lot. Oh, Lord, I was tired of hearing him say I don't know. And what is with this like? Baby, do you love her? She okay. Darnell said he didn't know what the future held for him and her once he got to Dallas. He claimed he was very confused, but tried to rationalize his decision by bringing up the fact that he could not live with me and needed a place to stay. Being a felon would not allow him to be added to my lease. He also said at certain times I acted indifferent. I guess taking me to the barber shop is out of the question. Darnell lowered his head and said, I just looked at him. He finally looked up, I guess to see why I had not replied. My look was all the answer he needed. He then asked me to drop him off at the train station, and I wanted to slap him. I just walked away. When we reached the car, I got in and he just stood there. Wait a minute, noise. When we reached the car, I got in and he just stood there. Seconds later, I told him to get in. When I started crying again, he said it might be best if he walked because I would not force myself to put the car in drive. When he said he feared I would do something crazy, he got my attention. I told him he would never have me so upset that I would wreck my Mercedes. I dried my tears and drove to the train station. I told Darnell he didn't have to call me if he had nothing to say, but I still loved him. I wanted to hate him, but I didn't, and I wouldn't lie about it. He said he would call and ask me to write down all my numbers. I love you, Christine, he said as he exited the car. I love you too, Darnell, was my reply. No more daddy. I drove home crying, listening to Iggin' Me by Chico DeBarge over and over. When I got home, I dried my tears to keep a brave face in front of the children. 12/11/04. As I was paying my bills, well, let me stop right there because it's getting hot out here. And I got to get inside. We're going to finish up with a part 2 of the last chapter here, chapter 26. We're going to finish up in another episode. All right? That's my time. It's getting hot out here. Smooches, y'all. Peace.